sober people, we have today, January 5th, just for today. Now, we can recover. Wait, now I'll screw that up. We can enjoy our families in a new way and become a credit to them instead of an embarrassment or a burden.
We're doing great in recovery, aren't we? We go to a meeting every day. We spend every evening with our friends in the fellowship. And every weekend we dash off to a service workshop. But if things are falling to pieces at home, we're not doing so great after all.
We expect our families to understand. After all, we're not using drugs anymore. Why don't they recognize our progress? Don't they understand how important our meetings, our service, and our involvement with the fellowship are?
Our families will not appreciate the change NA is working in our lives unless we show them. If we rush off to a meeting the same way we rushed off using drugs, what has changed? If we continue to ignore our needs and desires of our partners and children, failing to accept our responsibilities at home, we aren't practicing these principles in all of our affairs.
We must live the program everywhere we go, everything we do. If we want the spiritual life to be more than a theory, we have to live it at home. When we do this, the people we share our lives with are sure to notice the change and be grateful that we found NA.
Just go on. Just for today, I'll take my recovery home with me.
So, I've had a fun journey with my family on this one, and I have to, there is a little bit of resentment there. So, before I speak, I just want to say that a little bit. But we are trying to fix our problems, and they will never know the lengths that we go through in order to achieve that. And, even if they are, involved with Al-Anon or similar groups, they will never understand the struggles that we go through and try to do to achieve more and more. That being said, they are hypocrites. We are at least trying to work on our problems. And I know a ton of people who don't do crap about that. In fact, most people that do not try to work on them problems or themselves, which is a big part of the program. As for actually finding time to, manage to put with real life, and it's just like, I don't feel that's too applicable, because we try to, we were getting screwed up, and as long as we're sober and doing things, it should be a buy for the time that we're spent doing that thing.
Including that, we should talk about how the groups are set up. Like, we use I statements, and we sit in a circle and we take turns talking. We don't talk over each other. We don't do side talking, and we can put our problems out in the middle of the table without anyone judging, and it allows us to overcome obstacles that we know we're not facing alone on. And part of that, if showing family and showing loved ones on our progress, is being able to open up to them as well as we do in group. And just being able to be on a new level of talking to people is easier, because sometimes we fall in our own old ways, and I close up when I want to talk sometimes, because it's hard to say what's all going on in my head. I'm sure I'm not the only one with a lot of problems, but I have to be able to express myself without judgment so I can address the problem. And the world's not patient enough for that sometimes.
No, we live in a right now society, and that has an extreme damper on us as addicts, because we're expected to have known that before and do that before, and yeah, Anyway,
And every day's a new day.
every day is a new day. Have a wonderful day on that note. A new day of happiness and sobriety.